Hello again, it's Glenn Walford here from franchisebuyer.com.au, and I have the pleasure today to be with Nicola Mills of Pacific Retail Management down here in Sydney. Nicola, how are you?
Good, pleased to meet you.
Excellent, you too. Thank you for having me in your offices.
That's okay.
We've been talking for a little bit of time with some of the stuff you're doing in franchising, and I wanted to let everyone know today about something you guys do here called a managed to own program. I know you have 3 brands. You have Go Sushi, Wasabi Warriors, and Kick Juice Bars. But you've got a very interesting take on helping entrepreneurs get into business to make it easier for them. Can you tell us about this program, Managed to Own?
Yeah, what we found was when we were talking to franchisees about coming on and joining the team, a lot of them were having difficulties with the banks. Banks just aren't lending money to
really?
people.
Yeah.
And or, you know, if they had property, and so on and so forth, they go to the banks and they were getting a bit of a hard time.
Yeah.
So what we were finding is we were meeting some really great people, some people that we wanted to bring on into the group. Mm-hmm. And really the group is about good franchisees. If we get good partnerships with good franchisees, and everybody benefits, everybody grows.
Good for everyone, of course.
So the hardest thing to see was to people walk away, great people walk away, because they just couldn't get the finance. So what we did is we went back and looked at our own business model and thought, can we help them out?
So that was the approach you sort of took about great people. How can we
get these great people on board?
Yeah.
And not that the people that have come on board aren't great; they're great too.
Of course.
But we were losing some younger entrepreneurs and people that had a bit more energy and could come into the group and really make a difference. Mm-hmm. So at that point, we worked on our business model and said, right, can we help some of these guys, not through the banks, or work with the banks to help with the financing? So the managed to own model came from that. So that is simply what we do is we sit down and we do a budget with the entrepreneur. First of all, we talk to them if it's a good fit between the two of us, and we say, yeah, we think we can work really well together.
And this is for either of your brands?
Any of our brands. Each franchisee that comes on is different for each brand. So a Wasabi Warriors franchisee has got a different mindset maybe than a Go Sushi franchisee. Our Wasabi Warrior franchisees are much more community focused into our eat good, do good, feel good message, and there's a lot more to that brand than just your everyday.
And the Go Sushi is the grab and go.
Go Sushi is grab and go, and it's a great little concept and it works really well.
Yes.
But Wasabi Warriors needs a bit more community involvement in it. So when we sit down with each franchisee and say, we think we're a good fit, we then work with them on their budget and say, right, what do we need to do to make this happen for you?
So it's a really collaborative approach with it.
Yeah. And what are the banks not doing, and how can we help you out? So at that point, we put a budget together. Sometimes we get fit out contribution from the landlords, so the landlord will put in a bit of money, the franchisee will put in a bit of money, and then we'll fund the rest. Okay. And it's worked really well. So we've got some great people on board, people that could never have done it without the Managed to Own program. It's a simple concept. They pay for the business from the profits they make, so they don't have to find a big lump sum amount of money. They make the money and they pay for it as they go, with the view that they stay with us long term and then renew, keep building the business, maybe even take on a second business. And we've got a couple of people already who are talking to us about taking on a second store.
I imagine that's the ultimate for you, is it? Growing this person from that start, help them in, and then they're growing further with your business.
Yeah, and if you've got a great franchisee, of course you'd want them to have a second store, and if they're doing really well. So the Managed to Own program, we then extend that into a second store if they're doing well. We let them come into the business and work it for at least 12 months and make sure that it's working well.
So get that right, and then start looking at the planning for an ongoing.
Exactly. And then we go, right, we'll fund you again, and we'll go again. Here we go again. So it's been very, very successful, and it takes a lot of pressure off a lot of people where they're going to find the money from. And a lot of people do go to their family and friends and say, can you help us out, and so on and so forth. But it's a much cleaner way to do it. We work with them, like I said, on the budget, and we can nearly always find a solution with someone to get them up and get them into their business. And then it's just up to them to work it. Obviously, they get lots of support from us. Yeah. And we've put money in there, so we're very keen to to be successful.
In what your Managed to Own is, I suppose, is not a brand new concept. Some others have done something similar. But you guys, I think, have taken it to another level. I think you've really taken it to another level and really got collaborative, really engaged. And by the descriptions and the chats we've had previously, it's a really exciting type of way you're approaching it.
Yeah, the actually other positive effect from that is we're able to bring up some of our own teams within the Go Sushi and Wasabi Warriors and bring them up and develop them up. So we've got Our guy in Bundaberg was a manager at one of the stores, didn't have enough money to do himself. We put him into the Manage to Own program. He's now running his own store.
Yeah,
He's
it's a great
loving
story.
it.
Great story.
Yeah, had great experience. And so what was happening is we were losing people from the group who had all this experience and knew the product, and they were going off because they wanted the next step in their career.
But couldn't fund it.
And they couldn't fund. So now we give them the next step in their career. So it's actually given all our teams a much clearer path and where they think they can go if that's what they want to do.
It basically can give a staff member in a store a pathway all the way through, doesn't it? So they actually have a chance.
Yeah, so that feels that's
great
a
plan.
really good side effect of it. It's been
Good
really
feel to it.
Yeah, it's really
And
good.
good for business.
Great for business.
Excellent.
Yes, great for business.
Excellent. Nicola Mills, thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
Okay, that's Glenn again from franchisebuyer.com.au, and no doubt be talking to you soon. Thank you.